link, and then got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good,
people?
Everyone? Impromptu, you know what I mean?
We're here for you.
Man. All right, Sen, talk to the people while I hit up the socials real quick. You know what I mean?
Yo, we're here. We're live. We do this for you. It's really all for you.
You and you.
And you and you. Yo, how y'all doing, good people? Who's in here? Holla at me. Let me know.
Frederick Fosu. I don't know who he is. What's good, Frederick? I guess you're one of our new subs. Appreciate you pulling
Fred?
up.
All right. Where you from, Fred? Let me know.
Copy link.
Matter of fact, I want all whoever's a new subscriber, whoever's new to the chat, introduce yourself and then let us know where you from. I want to know how far we're reaching out here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Where's everybody from? What y'all repping? And where y'all repping?
Man, matter of fact, we got to get back to that. Like, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button,
that.
Make sure you comment. Help us feed the algorithm.
But sometimes y'all really need, to be reminded.
Yeah. I'm gonna give. That's our fault. I'm gonna start doing that
we reaching
every video.
Ghana right now, bro.
Ghana? That's where he's from.
That's where he's from, bro.
Fred, what up?
Yo.
Wow, the Rap Roundtable reaching Ghana.
Ham Skillet from Pittsburgh. What up? Pennsylvania in the building. All right, the Stop Brooklyn. What up? What up? But yeah, like Job was saying, make sure to hit the like button. If you're just popping in because you happen to see this pop up on your YouTube timeline or whatever, the algorithm fed it to you, and you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. After you subscribe, hit the bell, the notification bell, so that even though I've been hearing YouTube been fucking up with the notifications, but still, some is better than nothing. You know what I mean? So hit that notification bell so that whenever we go live or whenever we have some new content, a new episode, a lunch hour, whatever, y'all be the first to know. Make sure to do that. What else?
I mean, and since we here, if y'all want to hop on with us, y'all know what to do. Throw the super chat and whatever time that y'all throw on that, whatever amount y'all put is the amount of time y'all get with us. I mean, this is impromptu. We don't usually go live right before the new episode drops on Tuesday. But since we didn't give y'all a trailer, why not give y'all a live? Since
you know what I mean. And we got a little bit of news to talk about.
That's a fact.
Little more possible slander we might have to unleash.
Yo,
I mean, somebody got to do it. Why not us?
Hey, listen, who better than us? Because we're fair and unbiased here at the Rap Roundtable. Believe it or not,
That's a fact.
But let me see who's here now. I seen some of our regulars is in the Billy now. Okay. Adriel, Green, Shaq. I don't know who you are, Shaq. What's good? Welcome. Black Keys Music, welcome. Poets and Rhymes, welcome. Kenny Mac, what it is? Ham
Shaq
Skillet.
From London. All right, shouts to the UK. Two people from the UK in here. Black Keys Music from the UK.
You know what I mean? I don't know who Jay is. Jay, welcome. If you're new here, welcome. Free. Don't keep the hate to a minimum. Free. I'll be seeing them little comments, bro. You a hater, low key, bro. As from one hater to another, you're a hater, bro. You know what I mean? I got
word to Will T. Hit the like button, folks. It's free like food stamps.
Talk about it. That like button is key for our business, key for exponential growth. I see some videos here. They get like 2,000 viewers and 500 likes. Y'all be being real stingy with the like button. You know what I mean? That's free.
What up, Curtis? He's asking if it's just a duo tonight. Mason's on the way. He's gonna pull up any minute now, I think. Deanie unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, so you know what I mean.
Yeah, this is impromptu. We wasn't planning on going live.
This is not scheduled at all.
B. Dot, that guy, Shannon Williams Sr. My old name was Nas the Goat. Okay, welcome back, Nas the Goat. Where the hell you been? Huh?
Wait, what? Nas the Goat has a new name?
Yeah, Shannon Williams Sr. His government name.
Wow. What up, Shan?
You've been missing.
He went from Nas the Goat to Shan.
Yeah,
you rap, bro? You rap, MC Shan? Let's go with that. He's MC Shan to me from now on.
All right, so you got that list handy, bro. Let's get right to it. Mason's on the way. But we gonna start cooking. The people are here. They want to hear what we got to say about B. Dot.
Oh man, B. Dot won't leave us alone, bro. Like apparently he has to do this every 6 months now. It used to be, I feel like it used to be a yearly thing, but now every 6 months he's dropping the 10 best rappers list. So I guess halfway through the year he's dropping a list, and now at the end of the year he's going to drop another list. I guess maybe. It's a tough. I mean, I don't even know why he would want to put a list together for this first half of the year, with it have been, it's been so desolate in the rap landscape, but he decided to put a top 10 list. So here it goes, right? So and we put this up in in the community, right? We put up a post in the YouTube community, so y'all can see it over there too. But I'll read it off from the top up, right? From the bottom up. Cardi B at number 10. Jack and again, this is for the first 6 months of 2023. Cardi B 10, Jack Harlow 9, Killer Mike at 8. Benny the Butcher at 7, Larry June at 6, number 5, 21 Savage, number 4, Currency, number 3, Tyler, the Creator, number 2, Lotto, and number 1 for the first half of 2023, J. Cole.
What?
Now, this entire list, again, it's a tough list to put together in the first place based on the activity from this first half of the year. There really hasn't been much, right? In terms of who I'm seeing here that's been active, I know Larry June put out that project with Alchemist that made, that rang some bells. Killer Mike put out a whole album that a lot of people have been talking about. I'm not too mad at him being on this list, right? Currency has been super active. He's put out 2 projects. Right. He had that tape with Jermaine Dupri. People was really feeling that. And he just put out a project with Alchemist, right? But as far as everyone else, I mean, let's go straight to number 1. J. Cole is number 1. All due respects to J. Cole. He's one of the elite. He's one of the shoguns of this era. But he's put out 2 feature verses all year, as far as I could tell. And I even forgot one of them, right? I know, because the one that I thought about immediately was the Lil Durk.
Right.
The Lil Durk feature.
What was the other one? I don't remember.
That shit rang on. Remember that song he put out with J-Hope, the K-pop dude? With that preschool, my first boom bap beat?
That we made fun of? Yeah. Yeah.
So that's basically been his output all year. Apparently, those 2 verses land him at number 1. Now they were fire verses. Don't get me wrong, fire verses. But there's been some other people that's put out fire verses also on entire projects, and they're nowhere on this list. So I don't see the logic behind any of this. Lotto at number 2.
I'm baffled.
Come on, bro.
I'm baffled by this list.
And look, just one more thing before you go in. Just to remind people that his criteria, right? Super air quotes on that. He always says it is based on skill, and he always places skill first. Skill, performance, and relevance. Right. So relevance is the last on the list. Skill is placed first on the list. Right. If he would at least flip that criteria around and say relevance first and maybe skill last, maybe I wouldn't be so mad at this every single time that he does this, right? But if he's gonna front like he's for the culture and he's repping for people with skill, and then you're gonna put Lotto number 2, you know what I mean? Jack Harlow in there, like get out of here, bro.
So here's the thing about this guy. There's people who they take pleasure in being like a villain. You know what I mean? Like I can admit there's times when I enjoy upsetting people, but I feel like when I go out of my way to upset people, I try to do a good job of it. I don't get cheap heat. I go for real good heat. I want the tomato cans. I want everything. I want real booze. I don't want go away heat. I don't want people to say, all right, bro, just get out. You know what I mean? Like little brother heat. B. Dot must really think that he's like the number one villain in the space, so that when he does this, he gets a tomato stone. And, and it's almost like he's tweeting it to show his friend group, see, they hate me, and he's laughing about it. Well, the reality is, B. Dot, we don't even love to hate you. That's the thing. There's some people who love to hate people. We don't want you here. Because at this point, it's like you're doing way more damage than anything else. Because again, like I said the other day on a lunch hour, this is irresponsible. If you're number one, basically, so what you're doing is because we all got iPhones apparently. You went to your notepad and you basically kept the same order and you just replaced the names based on skill, performance, and relevance, first 6 months of 2023. If this is based on the first 6 months of 2023, Cardi B probably shouldn't be on the list. Where's Nicki Minaj? I'm just saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Right.
Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice been working hard all 2023. Nicki Minaj is a better rapper than Lotto and Cardi put together, multiplied by 5. So it's like, it's mind-boggling. Then you have Killer Mike 8 and Benny the Butcher 7 and Larry June 6. So the thing about that is, it's what we talked about last year when every time we kill him. B. Dot has this one signature play where he makes sure that he puts a couple of boom bap people on his list just to keep the boom bap heads off of him. But the gag is we already see through this bullshit. Like this is terrible. 21 is 5, Currency 4. What does Tyler done besides drop a deluxe with like 2 new songs on?
Right. You know what Tyler dropped? A fucking Rap Radar interview. That landed him at number 3, apparently.
Political connects is what you're saying.
It's got to be. He hasn't put any. Matter of fact, I checked. He put a song out that had no buzz, didn't do no numbers. Nobody was talking about it. And the only other thing was he dropped the deluxe version, which if you recall when we talked about it,
right?
We were gonna review it, but then we found out that it was promoted as a new project. It was really just a deluxe version of the old project, which was some bullshit. You know what I mean? So. If you're gonna drop, look, some people have feelings about deluxe projects. I'm kind of like in between on it. I don't have strong feelings one way or another. If you want to drop a deluxe, if you have some extra songs you want to put on your shit and put it back out there, cool. But where I draw the line is promoting it and going to social media as if it's a new project of new music and new material.
Yes,
and new
lying
songs.
to the
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's trash.
And then you put Benny the Butcher on this list, and albeit for me to front on Benny, right? Albeit
I was about to say, like, because you said putting the boom bap heads on there, he put the wrong one.
He put the wrong one.
He put the wrong one from Griselda.
Because Benny has done nothing this year
at all.
Conway put out a pretty good project. Rome Streets put out a pretty good project. You know, where are those guys? If you're putting on for the sake of clout, you might as well have put Stove on. The Stove got a bigger buzz than all of them with no music. Where's West Side? What are we doing here? You had the whole Grizzly. Where's Boldy? All these guys are sitting on your chair, and none of them are on your list.
Oof.
I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to Larry June. Again, if this is based on skill, performance, and relevance, in reality, the most important criteria for B. Dot outside of his political connects is relevance. Clearly, right? Then Larry June should be number 1. J. Cole shouldn't even be on the list. You know what I'm saying? It should be Larry June, Lotto, and Cardi B. Or actually Larry June, Lotto, 21, and then Cardi B. And then you can fill out the rest with whoever. Because this has nothing to do with skill. This is honestly, as far as rapping goes, top 10. This might be the weakest top 10 list I've ever seen in my life.
This is the worst one. And see, and another thing is like I could maybe see some of these picks a little bit. You know, I could take him a little bit better if he included like an influx from 2022. If that was part of his criteria somewhere. But he always makes it a point to, one, say based off skill first, performance second, relevance third. And then he specifically says for the first 6 months of 2023. And again, what has Tyler done?
Nothing. Didn't Jack Harlow's album flop?
Jack Harlow's album was a flop.
Okay.
And again, we love Benny the Butcher here at the table, but let's be fair. What has Benny the Butcher done in the first 6 months of 2023? Conway dropped a dope album.
Time out. Wasn't Ransom on their show not too long ago? Why is Ransom not on this list?
Ransom's not nowhere to be seen here. That's another one, right? And of course, right, we got to talk about it. Where's Nas at?
If J. Cole's number one,
bro, Nas is doing the Spider-Man soundtrack, Transformers soundtrack. You know what I mean? Worldwide tour. Like we're gonna talk about if you're making the list clearly off of more relevance than anything else. Nas has been just as relevant as some of these names. You know what I mean? If not more. If we're basing it on skill, Nas outskills basically really this entire list. You know what I mean? So what are we talking about here?
B-Dot, do you love rap? At this point, it's like, I'm not going to call my platform and challenge people to debate because I'm not even sure if they watch my podcast. I know a lot of people in the space do, but I don't know if B-Dot watches the Rap Roundtable. But I feel like now what I have to do is go on the internet and maybe get myself blocked because I feel like I have to heckle this guy now. Because it's like, if based on skill alone, right? Let's look at, matter of fact, let's look at this list. Based off skill alone, Cardi has to go. No disrespect to Cardi B. We love what you do.
Maybe her writers could be on the list.
Yeah, but they're not credited as far as it's not Cardi B and the writers, it's just Cardi B. So she gotta go.
Right.
Jack Harlow has to go. Lotto has to go. I know how y'all feel about Larry June, but he's not that nice to me. If we just talking bar for bar, he has to go. If we just talking about skill. And then, all right, when you say performance, what do you mean by that? The music? The albums that you put out? There's no J. Cole album.
Maybe how they deliver the
Where's Drake at?
Yeah.
I'm just saying the 21 is 4.
He can
5.
I don't care.
Are you right? All right, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Aubrey still. I just feel like if we're talking about performance, let me go back to this. Then Carlo has to go. I'll leave Cardi because Cardi actually lit. Every time Cardi drops, it's some fire. So I'll leave her there.
Right.
Tyler dropped the same album twice. He has to go. Cole has to go. Benny has to go. Killer Mike is too low. Right?
Killer Mike is too low. I'll say that for sure. The one guy that should absolutely be on this list right now, based on these criteria, is Killer Mike, and he landed at number 8, 3 spots away from not being on this list. He should be higher, 100%. And that's not even coming from a Killer Mike fan. I'm not a Killer Mike fan, but based lyrics, skill, performance, relevance. That album made waves, bro. Like, come on.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, B-Dot and especially Elliot Wilson be riding Mock Homie's dick. And if I'm not mistaken, Mock dropped earlier this year because it was in my car. I was spinning it.
Yeah.
Where's Mock Homie at on this list? Who does this list serve? Again, it's like B-Dot acts like one of these guys because the thing is, the more I look at his face, the more I listen to him speak, the more I'm disgusted by him. You were not spoken to as a kid, bro. You weren't allowed to sit at certain tables in the lunchroom. You weren't allowed to talk in the barbershop. And you've decided that this is a vengeance ploy. It has to be. You hate hip hop. You actually hate hip hop. I bet you if I could find B-Dot's phone right now and I went through his Apple Music, there's no rap there. He listens to B-Dot acts like one of them dudes, and I say what y'all want to say about me. If you're a man and you listen to a lot more R&B than anything else, personally, me, I can't trust you. Right. And I've had bad experiences with people who love R&B music. If B-Dot acts like one of these guys who just listens to R&B, and when you ask him about rap, he'll give you some generic answers so he can pretend to know what he's talking about. And then you look, and then it'll be a list like Lotto, clickable item, Tyler's clickable. Currency is like he's the underground legend. He's the person like if you know, you know, right? You know what I'm saying? 21 clickable. Larry June, if you know, you know. Benny, if you know, you know. Killer Mike, if you know, you know. 9 and 10 are clickable items. He's going for low-hanging fruit. You can't do a platform called Rap Radar and interview all the hottest underground niggas and then do bullshit like this on a constant basis.
And again, it makes me feel like all of that. Griselda, let's do Griselda times Rap Radar and having them all on the couch, Westside Gun, Boldy, Stove God, Rome, all of them, all up on the couch, but you don't really support these guys. You know what I mean?
No, I'm gonna say it, Sin.
You don't really listen.
I'm gonna say,
what I mean, it was all pasteurized, all of it.
Yo, Rap Radar and specifically B. Dot are culture vultures. Everything they do to be accepted by every particular space of the culture or whoever is lining their pockets at the time. To me, Griselda wasn't lining their pockets, but there was a little friction there. So it was a great get to have the entire Griselda up on that platform, especially after Tell B.F's list, all of that, all the energy that West Side had. If I'm not mistaken, Conway was just up there, or his interview was on the way.
I think Conway's interview is on the way.
Right?
And if I'm Conway, I feel like I really feel some type of way. Oh shit.
It may see
whose music is that?
Fellas.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, mute
that. Mute your shit, bro.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to like being a culture vulture, it's just like you just do shit. You're a fucking opportunist. You don't care about this shit. When we talk about gatekeepers in hip hop, it be these niggas. It be the reason why the space don't sound the right way, because when a person is hot or he's too lyrical, they get blocked. But then if a dude with tattoos on his face and colorful dreads gets lit, Rap Radar and Double XL and all these niggas jump right in front of them and they get to skip the line and they put out more bullshit music. And then you put out these lists. So if some 16-year-old kid is on Twitter right now on Threads and this shit makes its way around, oh, these are the guys I gotta listen to, let me run their numbers up. And then you giving them looks. Bro. How was J. Cole #1 and Nas not even on the list? That don't make sense to me.
J. Cole #1 is wild.
That makes absolutely no sense to me, bro. Like these. How did he get this job? I'm back there, Sam. How did he get this job? Can you help me out?
Yo, Jarvis is beside himself right now, man. Yo, I can't. Well, hold up. Oh,
it makes no sense to me that this guy gets to be this high in the space. Call me a hater if you want, but it's like at a certain point you have to have the necessary resume and criteria. Who was B. Dot before Rap Radar? Can somebody tell me how did he get here? I need a roadmap from intern all the way to Rap Radar. What did he do in hip hop to get this spot? And why do we? Matter of fact, who is this guy? And why should we fuck with him?
Where is the drop when we need it, bro?
I need to know. I'm tired of this nigga, bro.
Yo, I wouldn't be surprised if he did some freelance writing for like fucking Pitchfork or Rolling Stone or one of them shits, Billboard. That's part of his resume.
#1.
He seemed like one of them.
Even be 8. Nas dropped 4 straight albums. That's fire. He did everything based on this bum ass list. He did everything you're supposed to do to be on this list. He did features. He had the fake beef for 21. He had a fire album that leaked over him. He had the show at the Garden. He had a magazine cover with what was it again? GQ. Interviews, soundtracks. Yeah. What hasn't he done to not get on this list? Right? Shit. What the fuck? Like, I'm so befuddled right now. I'm confused. Anybody got anything? Because I can keep going. I'll just keep ranting about B. Dot forever, bro. I hate this guy now. Now I hate B. Dot. I've said it.
But not before?
I didn't hate him before. I was disgusted by him. But now it's hate, because it's like he represents everything that I'm mad about with this. At least when I say shit about Nas fans and I talk about Nas, it'd be a good fun and it'd be shit that we can argue about. I just don't throw shit out and then go hide. He don't even fight back. He just throw the shit out and hide. But if Hov would have dropped one verse, Hov would have been like 6 on this list, right?
He's just he throws a grenade out, watches it explode from a fucking penthouse somewhere, I guess.
Nigga playing Call of Duty.
Bro, you know what I mean? Mace, what up, man?
You doing that
What's
shit
going
right
on, fellas? Man, I listen, y'all been kind of blowing up the list. Exactly. Here go my boy Kenny Mac with Goof Hop again. Listen, man. Brian B. Miller. You know what I mean? Does the B stand for bozo? You know what I mean? Bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I won't get too insulting on today's stream. But listen, terrible fucking list, bro. You know a list that got J. Cole #1 ain't no list I want to even deal with. So
all right, try to keep it unbiased though.
I'm keeping it unbiased. Why would J. Cole be #1 in 2023, bro?
No, you're right.
The only list he deserved to be #1 on was the Rap Roundtable list of 2019 that he made #1 on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
That's the only one. But listen, what more can we say about, just like Job say, at this point, I'm on DMX with Drake status with this guy. Like, I don't like his voice. I don't like his face. I don't like the way, nothing about him, bro.
Nothing about him.
Nothing about his swag. I won't go as far as saying he's an R&B listening nigga like Job, but listen, man. Listen, man. He might listen to like house music all day type shit. You know what I mean? Like, he might be on that vibe. I don't know, man. Like, Jack Harlow number 9, Larry June number 6, Currency number 4. What's going on with this list, man? Like,
I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. The only reason I'm late to the stream was because I needed to go drink some cheap liquor so I could get an exact frame of mind he was when he created the liquor.
You need some stronger than liquor, bro.
Man, listen, you needed to go get some Georgie, like some $2 shit. You feel me? I had to get fucked up quick.
That's that shit in your bloodstream. That's
B.I.G made this list like it was like a bad level. Like he had like a fantasy draft and he had to pick 12 on a 12-team league or some shit. Like just random, just auto pick all of them because it just don't make sense.
Auto pick, bro.
It don't make sense to me, bro. Like J. Cole was
out of a hat.
J. Cole was his number 1 draft pick, and he was the last good one left, so he just picked him, and then the rest of it just fell into place by itself. Lotto's number 2?
Lotto's number 2. What? How, man? What in the Princess of Rap ain't even on the list, bro? Like, let's be honest, man. Queen of New York. Come on.
No.
They've been putting in more work than Cardi recently. No disrespect to Cardi, but like if Cardi makes the list, then they got to be there too. Ransom just dropped a fire album. What are we talking about? Like, what are we doing? Like, what?
Why would no shots to 21? But why would 21 be on there when Uzi just dropped the first number 1 album of the year?
Shit. Didn't Dirk drop this year too? If I'm not mistaken,
Dirk dropped this year too. This is what I'm saying. Is he scared to put Gunna on the list? Is he scared?
Yo, but I feel like Dirk's representation is the J. Cole number 1.
Facts, right? Where's Conway, man? Where's Con?
Where is Conway, bro? We were talking about that.
They interviewed Conway, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Shout out to B-Dot putting this list out after the interview was recorded with Conway.
Yeah.
Because Conway probably doesn't do that interview if that list comes out beforehand.
That's a whole fact, bro.
Jack Harlow. Oh, what?
Free said that Harlow ain't flop, but based on the promo and the rollout for Harlow and the fact that there's no singles getting any airplay anywhere right now, that album flop, bro. Imagine Free with his Harlow pom-poms. I knew he
doesn't have skill, performance, or relevance. Like, he don't have none of the 3, to be honest with you. Like,
if Cole's number 1, where's Kendrick? He just had, all joking aside. Where's Kendrick?
He just had some halfway decent soul sample beats.
With dad bars?
That's all he had.
Said
crazy.
Listen, we know it's been like not the best half a year of rap, since we all been fans.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I want to extend grace to like maybe like it's difficult because nobody really was like going crazy like that. But come on, man. Like, if there were 5 moments in hip hop this year, like, Can Thug or Gunna get a mention over? I'm just going to the new rappers. I'm not even trying to say like take Benny off or take Killer Mike off. But why Tyler the Creator on there over Gunna, bro? Honestly,
don't make sense, bro.
Doesn't. We all were listening when that shit dropped. Let's keep it a buck, man.
Yeah.
The numbers supported too. He was number 1 on that Apple list.
Yeah.
Uzi had the biggest song of the fall through the winter. What are we doing? Where's Uzi?
Where's Uzi, bro?
Is Uzi just not a rap anymore? Is that what it is? Am I missing something?
Possibly. Because I know some of the album
over Con and Ransom, bro. How?
So some of the album was on some like death metal shit. I won't call it death metal. Maybe like that new metal is what they call it.
Yeah, fair play. If that's the case, if Lotto's number 2 and Cardi's 10, where is Coi Leray?
Hey.
She the hardest working female rapper. She had the biggest records. Whether boosted or not by bots, that's a different conversation. I don't know. I'm not saying it is, but based on her sales, look like her singles numbers are a little shaky now, right? But nevertheless, she had the big. I was the Girls Just Players 2 was the biggest record a female rapper had for months. She's not on this list. Quick aside before we continue bashing B Dot. Everyone say we got 109 in the chat. Do remember that episode 75 drops tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So make sure y'all pull up for that.
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
Back to this conversation. And hit the like button while you
also here. Everybody hit the like button.
Please.
You know
we beg.
Yo,
just don't... 2 3s. You my dog, but that Dirk album was garbage, bro. Like, let's keep it in
Yeah. Yo, Free, how old are you, bro? You must be one of the youngins in the chat. Free must be one of them young heads in the chat. You know what I mean? He's like Bizarro Mad Max with his takes. Like Mad Max be making sense, but then Free coming and just be, you know what I mean?
That's another thing. If y'all don't mind sharing, you know what I mean, drop the age as well, location and age, just because you know it's part of the context. We need to know where y'all coming from, which y'all take sometimes. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
The chat gonna make shit a little different. I ain't gonna lie.
Even a dude like RJ Payne has been putting out work. Like he don't even get an honorable mention. Like based on this 10. Like again,
they've been putting in crazy work.
And
bro.
I don't like doing lists, yeah. But it's like he's forcing me to make a list. Or do we need to like clean up his list? You know what I mean?
Ain't no cleaning this shit up, bro.
Nah.
There's certain things you just gotta scrap.
You
can't, you know what I mean? You can't clean that shit up. You just gotta, I don't know, back to the drawing board or something, man.
I'm taking Tyler off. I guess we could leave Currency. 21's coming off. Benny's coming off. Harlow's coming off. Cardi's coming off. Chat, give me 10 right now. Give me y'all 10 right now, as a matter of fact. That's what I want.
Yes, man. Honestly, you left Cole up, Joe?
Cole can go too. I'm sorry. Cole will belong on the 10. If we doing the first 6 months of 2023, Cole has no business here. The number one rapper, it will be a debate between Ransom and Nas, and then we can work our way down from there.
Yeah.
Period.
I don't know. I might put Cole at 10, if anything. Okay. All right. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at that.
It's like a couple of years ago when I was like, nah, Kendrick, we can put Kendrick at 10 at least. You know what I mean? So we did have that little Dirk verse. What?
It's All My Life and which else that Cole dropped?
Remember the K-pop dude?
That was a tough verse.
It was a tough verse. You know what I mean? The song was whatever, but the verse was tough.
Jay Worthy deserved to be in that conversation as far as top 10 rappers based on skill. Like we need, matter of fact, and this is why the Rap Roundtable is here. I'm not gonna I don't mean to pat ourselves on the back, but this is exactly why we made 2 separate lists last year. We had top 10 rappers and top 10 lyricists, and we separated the list because rappers to me is an industry term now. Like because a lot of people rap.
It's been there for a while,
right? Yeah. Like if I felt like it right now, I could find some rando internet producer and I can make a quick EP and try to rap and make some New York trap shit, and it'll ring off somewhere. Somebody will fuck with it.
Honestly,
that makes me a rapper. But I didn't do it for the art. I did it because I wanted to make a bag. Right. Lyricists are the people who are really doing this shit. And if B-Dot's gonna make a list and say top 10 rappers and throw some lyricists in there, like the Bennies, the Killer Mikes, the Currencies, etc., you're doing your own list of disservice because the people that they're behind the list automatically, like you're saying that Lotto's better than Benny the Butcher on what day? You know what I mean?
And the way I look at it,
where
I look at it, Job is right. You know what I mean? You got to look at it in different ways. And kind of the way I looked at our list is that like lyricists would be like the best players in the game, right? Mm-hmm. But our top 10 rapper list was like MVP seasons almost. So this is the type of year you're having right now. This is what you're doing. That's hits, that's relevance, that's all list. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But the actual lyricist list is your skill set, what you bring to the table. You know what I mean? What you can actually do, you know what I mean? On bars, you know what I mean? Musically, period. And so when I look at the rapper list, just like I say, I look at it like an MVP list. You know what I mean? Who's having the top seasons this year? And this is like a horrible representation of that, bro. Like, absolutely terrible. I feel like that's what, when you saying these are the top rappers in the game, I feel like this, you saying these are the best years that niggas are having. And J. Cole dropped 2 verses, my nigga. Lotto dropped one song and it only got hot because Cardi B got on it. A nigga, like, this is crazy. Tyler, the Creator, won a Grammy 2 years ago, right?
Shit. Yeah. If anything, Cardi should be higher than Lotto.
Honestly, I don't think Cardi deserved to be on the list, but she should be higher than Lotto.
If we're gonna play that game.
And then Lotto, she and if you ask me, just as an observer, being a chatty boy for a second, she clout chasing Nicki Minaj. She working hard for a beef with Nicki just to stay on the clicks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you know, honest, if you beef with all of y'all, everybody who beefs with Nicki gets a look. They get the anti-Nicki Minaj fan base that chases behind them. And then you have a person like Ice Spice who's catching the static from the opposite side of that because she's standing next to Nicki. So that's whole female rap politics in and of itself. And I think Coyle Ray had to remove herself. She was on Math podcast saying, like, to me, beefing is corny. I don't want anything to do with that. So it's like, to me, like, Lotto clout chased her way all the way to the top. Right? Yeah. I don't believe that she's actually valid. I think she found the way. She changed it. Remember, she was a full-blown pussy rapper like 2 years ago.
Right.
and then she started making pop
shot
rap.
The Doja Cat shit for a second. You know what I'm saying? That didn't work. So now I'm beefing.
Now she's number 2 on the list. How? No, I know Atlanta's the number 1 city in hip hop. It is what it is. As New Yorkers, it hurts me to say it, but it's a fact. They are the number 1 city in hip hop, so they need representation. But if anybody from Atlanta needs to be at the top of that list, it's 21. Even if he ain't doing nothing, again, B Dot. If I'm thinking with B Dot's brain, then 21 can't be higher. Lotto can't be higher than 21. Where's Future at? Future put that whole Metro album on his back. The biggest record got Future on it. You saw the video I threw with a group chat yesterday in England.
Shit looked like DMX in '98, bro.
Where's Future? I'm disgusted.
Somebody,
Future, man.
Mark DJ said even Glorilla should be ahead of Lotto.
Bro, it's 5 women that should be ahead of Lotto. I'm not even shitting you right now, bro.
Glorilla put the entire female rap game on her back in the middle towards the end of last year. There was nobody hotter than Glorilla. That Tomorrow 2 record with Nicki was getting spins like Glorilla was from the Bronx. Like, they was getting radio play in New York City heavily. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Glorilla did that. All her appearances was fire. Where did Lotto come from? And, like, honestly, when I go on my internet outside of a little thirst trap pick, where the music at? What record is it? What's the Lotto record that's going crazy right now that she's number 2?
That's what I'm saying. When you have a whole high profile, but I could never identify your signature record, I know there's some fuckery at hand, bro.
Like, put it this way.
And for Lotto, that's the case. You know what I mean? Honestly, Meg was like that for a little while, where I couldn't identify what's the Meg record. You know what I mean? You know the Koi record. You know the Ice Spice record. You know the Glorilla record. You feel me? You knew the Lola Brooke record. You feel me? Like, a lot of these motherfuckers.
Lola Brooke deserve a bigger look on this top 10 list than Lotto. Don't play with this like a 3-year-old record that went crazy.
That Lotto had to jump on.
And she made it worse. Let's call it what it is. Shout out to Billy B. Nobody had a better verse than her. And they took her off the remix. Listen, anyway, that's a different conversation for another day. But Lola Brooke deserves to be on that list. Like, this is terrible. Again, it's like all of these people who are putting in work, and it's like the lyricism is getting a fair shake in this space again. But you keep finding different ways to keep shoving the bullshit in our face. Is there even, outside of Larry June, is there really like an elite West Coast rapper on this list? Larry June's not elite. I'm sorry, y'all. He's not elite to me. He's not even good. I don't see what y'all see.
Skills, performance, and relevance. Does tour count as performance?
If B-Dot would actually stop hiding on Twitter, we'd be better
and explain himself.
You know what I mean?
Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like the Kenny, Keem record, but that shit had the internet talking, bro. Like, let's be honest, it made you have an opinion. Son, you know what I mean? So it's like, why does a nigga like Jack Harlow deserve? Right. What does Jack Harlow belong on this over Kendrick Lamar, bro? Like
how will you, as a content creator in the space, B-Dot, could fix your mouth to say that a Ransom is fire and he's dropping nothing but classics, but then you put this list out and he's nowhere to be found. Like, what good is your word? Because you contradict yourself. There's no consistency. There's no, like, you're not an authority. You do nothing to support you being an authority in this space. Your fucking list don't matter. Go ahead, Sid. I know you was about to say something.
No, I was gonna say the craziest shit about Harlow is that, like, we all know he doesn't belong there, but like, if even if we tried to find some type of criteria to put him there, like, and I know we live in an age, we talked about this before, where like albums come and go, you know what I mean, in terms of like people talking about them, but like the Jack Harlow's, like, especially, it was like maybe like a 1 to 2 day period where I heard people talk about it, and the most people said was oh, he's rhyming over soul sample beats. That's the best thing they could say about it. They didn't say anything about, yo, Jack Harlow spitting on it. No, nobody said that. They were just like, oh, I kind of fucks with it, and I basically said the same thing on the table. I'm surprised he's rapping all these type of beats and being more introspective, but like, it doesn't change the fact that he's mid at best. Like, what part of the criteria does Jack Harlow fit?
The same criteria, I guess. Larry June fits. Lifestyle.
No, don't put Jack Harlow and Larry June in this. No, don't do that. Don't do that to Larry June, bro. Don't do that to Larry.
It's June. Lifestyle bars, ain't it? Ain't that the?
I'm not trying to show Larry June.
Ain't that what he's
number 6?
Isn't that what he's looking for?
No, I'm not saying that I agree with Larry June's placement on this list. But
come on the show and talk like a man, or stop talking hot in the chat, bro.
Don't put Jack Harlow on him, bro. Like, that's
all right. He's not a fly lifestyle rapper. You're right. That was slander. That was slanderous. I can admit that.
That was cheap shot.
That was a cheap shot. Do you see how I can stand on my cheap shots? And then this guy Leroy Green said he's trying to keep his industry pass. All right, you want to say that B-Dot wants to keep his industry pass? There's better industry options.
Honestly,
like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, yo, get B-Dot out of here. I'm getting a shirt that says that. Get B-Dot out of here.
Does he have one pick right? Any pick? Like, okay, maybe names, but the name that you agree with, are they in the right place on the list? Is he 0 for 10 on this list?
He's 0 for 10.
Yeah.
The name I agree with the most on here is probably Killer Mike, and he should have been high. What else would I agree with? J. Cole, I might put like near the because again, it's been a weak first half of the year. So like J. Cole's performances on those two features are notable. So maybe he belongs on there, like maybe at number 10, number 9, somewhere near the bottom of the list. But number 1, bro, like
what?
I mean, Pusha T.
It's been a rough year.
It's been the hottest thing all year in rap, and they can't get a look on the list.
I can't do nothing.
Like, come on, like, what are we talking about here, B? Like, this is I don't want to talk
about
this.
Bro, people been talking about Pusha T's and Jim Jones's shit more than probably anything else all year.
Yeah.
That could have garnered a couple of spots for both of them. But I see what's going. Y'all right. I see what's going on here.
As a culture, bro, we need to get B-Dot out of here. We need to like find a way to like cancel him. Cancel B-Dot. He deserves
B-Dot.
it. Cancel him.
You deserve to have to answer for this, B-Dot. Like,
get him out of here.
For your war crimes, nigga.
This is a war. This is a crime against the culture. We need to get B-Dot out of here. Like, man, I know we're not helping by doing the podcast talking about his list, but I'm so upset about it that I needed to vent. You know what I mean? But after this, Sin, you're right. You was in the group chat. You're absolutely right. This is the last time that I'm ever going to react to any list or anything B-Dot has to say, or it had to be something so egregious that it needs to be trashed. But if he just puts out a random,
bro,
yeah, you're right.
I don't know, Job. I love a good B-Dot slander, bro. We off that for real, bro.
How else can we get him out of here if we keep giving him the heat he's looking for? These war crimes, as you call them.
I'll keep the
matter of fact
insults to myself.
But you know what? We tend to get people's attention when we slander them. Maybe our slander hit different than other people's slander. So maybe we should slander because we tend to push buttons on the internet. So maybe we should keep going.
You know what I mean?
We don't sip coffee and get holier than thou. We actually push the necessary button. So maybe I need to find out what actually pisses B. Dot off to get his attention.
They say he's protected by the paper plane gang. That's what they said.
Bro, we should go full push a T on him, bro.
That's whoever said that is actually right. The paper plane gang is a tough gang to crack. Once you behind that veil of the paper plane, you safe.
Yeah.
Tory Lanez.
He's not protected by it, but you know who is. Hey, girl, she's protected by the paper plane.
You know,
damn, that's a good angle. Who said that? Who put that?
That was Nadia K who threw that in the chat. What up, Nadia?
I didn't see that angle until right now. B. Doc can say whatever he wants.
While Elliot chuckles.
Also, can I be conspiracy theorist guy who I never play this card, but I'm gonna play it now because I'm having a good time. Did Nas get left off because of his faithful planes?
We're
Local
going back
celebrity
here.
made the call, man.
We're going back here.
B. Dot. You know who
I thought we had outgrown this.
I'm just asking the question.
I thought we had outgrown these topics.
I have. But Nadia K changed the conversation. I thought I had the answer. She changed the question. That's all I'm saying.
Saying that call was made.
I doubt it. He got a shout out on KD3, so I doubt it.
No, but Nas hasn't really been on any of B. Dot's list, which is
that's interesting.
Yeah, this is what. This is what people be talking about when they say, "Yo, what the fuck does Nas have to do to get some type of recognition from the industry and the media?" Like,
have they reviewed any of the KD albums? Have Elliot or any one of them said anything about them?
Not that I'm aware of, bro.
I'm gonna have to do some research on that. That's a good question.
I've never seen. I think I've seen Ebo talk about it. He just finally came around, right? Maybe a couple other, definitely not Rap Radar, definitely not
Power Moves. We know B. Dot don't work for Rock Nation, but there's a political connect with Rock Nation. The show is through Tidal, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a business relationship there. They're heavy at the Rock Nation brunches, et cetera, et cetera. And be clear, the Rap Roundtable is not the podcast where we just create conspiracy theories and be anti-Hov. I'm one of the biggest Hov fans alive. I'm just begging the question as we're here. You know what I mean? So take it easy.
Hold on, level the conspiracy power. Come on.
Andre Chessa, I think, from what I've noticed, the only one that fully answered their own top 10 question. You got Nas, Ransom, Currency, Killer Mike, Larry June, Conway, good, Jay Worthy, J. Cole, Black Thought, and he said he can't pick the last two, and he says he's 46.
Andre, I'll say this.
That's better than B. Dot shit.
But that's a more of a lyricist.
I disagree with that list. That's what I'm saying. I disagree with the list, Andre, but your list has a clear, concise point to it. You know what I'm saying? I can see where he's coming from, what he values. You know what I'm saying? What he thinks is matters. You feel what I mean? Who the fuck knows what B. Dot even likes by looking at this fucking list, bro?
Bro, this is, like I said, this is a fantasy draft.
Mess,
auto pick, bro. This is exactly what this is. Man. Quick aside, another announcement while we have the chat here. Sid and I behind the scenes we're talking, but I figure what better time than now while we're talking about lyricists and all of that. The Rap Roundtable's not doing the 50 greatest rappers list. Sid and I had talked about doing a hip hop 50, our version of the rap report card from way back in the day. Yeah. So we're gonna leak that news right now to y'all. Start looking forward to the Rap Roundtable's hip hop 50 rap report card, which means we're gonna span the entire space. Does that mean every single rapper in the history of rap? No, but every notable rapper you can think of, and if you got suggestions for who you'd like us to grade, put it in the chat, put it in the comment. But start building up. We're gonna start building momentum. That's gonna be a live stream too. We're gonna start building that up for you guys.
Basically, expect the names that you hear a lot at the table, the people that we talk about. You know what I mean? Nas, Hove, Kanye, Ghostface, DMX. You know what I mean? The people that we talk about. If y'all have not heard us talk about them on the podcast, don't expect them to be. Don't be mad when they're not on the rap report card.
Don't ask about
what the fuck. No.
Don't ask about Smiles and South Star. Don't ask about Murphy Lee. Don't ask about Flow Rider or C Murder. Like none of these guys. We don't talk about them. So don't ask us to grade them.
Definitely don't ask us about no Master P.
Right. Because it's gonna be somebody that's what you didn't, you know what I mean? So we're making it clear right now. You know what I mean?
Don't ask us about, I don't know, P. Diddy. We don't like whack New York rappers either, guys.
We don't like whack rappers, period. Again, if you hear and you have not hit the like button, stop being stingy. Hit the like button. You don't even care about the super chat so much. If you do it, great. But the like button is just as valuable as a super chat as far as reaching out throughout the interwebs of YouTube. Now,
we're gonna get on our fucking teacher shit. There's 114 people in the chat, 79 likes. Whoever has not liked, head over to that like button right now.
Yes, we'd like to get at least 250 likes on this video, maybe even 300. But we can't get there if y'all don't do so. Now let's get to the next topic at hand. Tony Yayo, the number one interview in hip hop right now.
Yeah,
goes on Drink Champs, and somehow or the other they end up on this topic of Ice Cube and Biggie Smalls. EFN chooses. It started on Story Raps, and then overall, once I watched the video, EFN flat out says Ice Cube is better than Biggie Smalls, and generally believes that Yayo is bugging the fuck out for believing that Big could be better. So chat, let us know who you got, and we're gonna start breaking this down now. So let's say the raps now. We know your allegiances, but is there even an argument?
What do you? I don't know what you speak of right now.
But
it's not like I have like 3 or 4 Biggie t-shirts.
Right.
It's not like I don't know what you mean.
Share a relic Biggie freestyle yesterday on Twitter, you know what I mean? But nevertheless,
yeah.
Is there an argument for Cube next to Big?
An argument, yes. Okay. I feel like this is tough because, like, even though we look back at the span of years as being pretty close, the years that Cube was the man from like 90 to like 93, 94, right? And then Biggie was the man, and again on the West Coast for Ice Cube. Biggie was the man. He's from New York, you know, from like 94 to like 97, right? So it's like the span of years are like right side by side, but it feels like there's a wider gap between those years. It just sonically, when you look at the years from 90 to 93, and then you look at the years 94 to 97, sonically, it's like two different worlds, right? So it's in a sense, it's hard to compare the two. But if we're talking about all around skill and all around performance, shout out to B. All around skill, all around performance, all around relevance. You know what I mean? I think Biggie takes it. I think I just flat out, Biggie takes it. Now, for the Cube fans out there, right? Number one, because the topic came up about storytelling, right? And this is the biggest, this is the most emotion I've ever seen out of DJFN ever on this podcast. So he was saying he felt very strongly about this, right? Yayo kept going back to, you know, the song Niggas Bleed. He kept spinning that same one line over and over again. But people have been talking about, he just kept spinning that one liner, but that one liner is from a song that exemplifies how much of an elite storyteller Biggie was. You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand it. I think where people see Cube as a great storyteller or even possibly a better storyteller is that he'll tell you a story like your man on the block tells you a story. So he's a good storyteller in that sense. Like he'll tell you the events, he'll tell you who was involved, he'll tell you how let you know how serious the matter was, right? But Biggie was a great storyteller the way like the greatest authors of our time are storytellers. You know what I mean? Like an author of a novel, like the story arcs, the details in the story. You know what I mean? Like he had a way of you know, like weaving details into a story that were not necessarily important to the story, but it puts you in the place of where it happened. Whether it actually happened or not, when I listen to them side by side, I feel myself more on the scene in the place of where Biggie's telling the story than I do where Cube is telling the story, right? You add to that the fact that, let's be honest, Biggie's flow is quite possibly the best flow of all time. So you add the flow on top of the storytelling, and it's a no contest to me. Biggie's the better storyteller. And as far as like just overall better lyrically, I'm going with Biggie also.
So you're saying he checks every box over Cube?
He checks every. I'm not. Well, here's what Cube is raw. Cube is more raw.
Yeah.
Than Big, right? And
his aggression is underrated.
Yeah, but he also put more focus on hood shit. Biggie started off with the rawness and the hood shit, but then Puff, changed his whole, his whole shit up and his whole approach. But by the end of it, even with the change in approach, lyrically he got better, flow wise he got better, songwriting wise he got better. Like all around, he got better. You know what I mean? So I gotta give it to Big, man.
Quick aside, I see a lot. The chat is going up for this particular time. 88 Spencer with the super chat. As I'm looking at the chat, the storytelling on Death Certificate is crazy. Absolutely. Like what I want to say before I move on is age. Kenny Mack said age plays a role. Sin is older than all of us. You see this man's beard? Like you don't think Sin was there for Cube and Big? Like what are we talking about?
Let's talk about Today Was a Good Day, right? All-time classic, right? One of my favorite songs of all time. Told the story from beginning to end about what transpired throughout the day. Like he told you what was happening. You know what I mean? He was giving you the account of what was happening. He didn't really, at least to me, he didn't put you on the scene. It wasn't as visual as when Big would tell you, I was here and I heard this and I smelled that and this was playing on the TV.
And then you add the Bad Boy cinematics on a production side to it. They had a whole
sound effects in the background. You know what I mean? Like it was a different level.
Yeah,
it was a different level.
Yeah, Macito, you want to try your hand with this one?
This is a tough one, tougher than both sides would like you to believe. I actually read it differently than you guys. I felt like EFN was like more, both of them are top 5, and that Yale was shocked that Cube deserved to be.
Nah, EFN never got that loud on the podcast ever. He was adamant that Cube is better than Big. Like,
I agree, but he kept saying, yo, he's top 5 too. Yale was the one that made it seem like Cube ain't even deserved to be in the conversation.
Well, Tony Yayo is Tony Yayo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Tony Yayo is who B.I.G thinks he is. Carry on.
So I read it a little bit different, but ultimately, me and Sam was having a Cube conversation the other day, Cube and comment. I'm a big Cube fan, bro. Like to act like Cube don't deserve to be in any conversation when you talk about from Straight Outta Compton to The Predator, that might be one of the best, that might be the best run ever. If you talk about album for album, those are 4 hip-hop classics, like America's Most Wanted, bro. Like, Death Certificate, my nigga. Like, so, like, I think it's clear, and this is not an insult to Cube, I think it's clear that skill set wise, that's not even a question. I feel like Big is a superior lyricist. Big is superior, just like Sin, just cadence, you know what I mean? Fucking, there's a bunch of shit. But listen, man, Cube's run is as great as any run. I'm the Pac guy. If niggas come to me and say Cube better than Pac, I don't argue you. I can understand where you coming from. You know what I mean? I think it's just like it's hard for a lot of people to look at pre-Nas MCs and put them in top 5 and top 10 lists. We gonna be honest. You know what I mean? A lot of pre-Illmatic MCs get left out of the loop. You know what I mean? But when we talking about people from that era, I think only Cube and Rakim I think those are the two unmatched ones to me. You know what I mean? I got Cube over KRS. I got Cube over Kane. I got Cube over G-Rap. I got Cube over a lot of people that, you know, maybe us New Yorkers might look at me kind of crazy. So I want to give Cube his flowers, and I understand why somebody, you know, that was especially on the West Coast when Cube hit would be like, nigga, like, you just looking at Cube like he ain't the one, you know what I mean? Because Cube ran shit on his side, bro. He came over, got the New York producers, was running shit on the West Coast. Cube was doing epic shit. You know what I mean? He got the diss records, maybe the greatest ever. You know what I mean? He checked plenty boxes. You know, and when you think about the way the things they rap about, I don't know if Big got a true to the game, you know, in him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he got that type of commentary. You know, people just go straight, oh, it's political. But commentary could be political, it could be social, it could be, you know, about relationships. I think just
you could argue what Big did was commentary from a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view.
I'm gonna let Mace finish, but I got something to say about that.
Okay.
You know, so I think is to just act like Cube is not, you know, his peak ain't there, especially when you adjust for how they went up against their own era. Cube is right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cube ran shit in his day like Big ran shit in his day, man. I'm a big guy because I just think that the skill set, the mid-90s had such a jump in skills to me. You know what I mean? That it's like, come on. And Big is like the one that you know, other than Nas, who had more all-around skills than Big. You know what I'm saying? So I would give it to Big after a long debate, to be honest with you, because this ain't easy to as easy as people want it to sound.
Right. So I wanted to talk about some that you might have mentioned, or a sentiment that you mentioned, where, because people will say that Cube had more commentary, right? And they're probably right? I think Cube was more focused in terms of like the overarching theme of his music was more focused on, you know, not just the conditions in the hood, but what has led to those conditions in the hood, but also in a way that was relatable to people in the hood, right? And he wasn't, you know, he was a conscious rapper, but he wasn't a quote unquote conscious rapper like Talib Kweli or like, you know, Dead Prez or Common or whatever. Like there was no incense and you know, and Erykah Badu vibes when it came to Cube. You know what I mean? Right. So I appreciate that. I think that most people that will side with Cube value that more than anything else, right? But I do want to push back on the notion that Biggie didn't have any social commentary whatsoever. The first song on Ready to Die was Things Done Changed. You know what I mean? The next song was Give Me the Loot, which is basically a consequence of how things done changed. You know what I mean? The last song on it was Suicidal Thoughts. Like, talk about how, like, you know, how hard life is living the way that he lives in these situations that he lives in. Like, nobody really approached that sort of topic on a song the way that Biggie did, right? Maybe it wasn't an overarching theme to his music, but you know, to his credit though, that's what makes him more well-rounded, because he also gave you the Big Papa, he also gave you the, you know, the What, he also gave you the One More Chance, you know what I mean? He also just gave you straight up, you know, quote unquote backpacker bars, you know what I mean? Unbelievable, or Kick in the Door. Like, he was so much more well-rounded to me than Cube was, you know what I mean? In terms of all the facets of hip-hop. He gave you anything. You tell him, you know, yo, make this style of song, he'll give it to you. You know what I mean?
Let me hop in here though. We got a super chat from Leroy Greenson. He says, "Send my man, what up? Boy, you familiar with King T? That's where Big got his style from, with a splash of Cube, respectfully." What do you say to that?
Big got his style from everywhere. You know what I mean? Like that, but that's what you're supposed to do. You come into the game in 92 to 94, you know what I mean? You're gonna take who were the hottest motherfuckers at the time? It was Cube, it was Kane, it was
that's hip hop overall.
The ghetto boy Scarface. Like he drew from all of them. G-Rap, he drew from all of them. He drew from all of them and made basically the perfect MC. To me, if you put two West Coast artists, you put Cube and Snoop together, and you might get big. Maybe.
88 Spencer says Alive on Arrival on Summer Vacation. He's just highlighting some records. For me with this situation, it's interesting because a lot of us in 2023, we don't even really look at Ice Cube, the rapper, anymore. He's been such a pop culture icon that we don't consider his music a lot of times anyway. He's been in so many movies, but it's kind of like the argument I made about Hove a couple weeks back. Ice Cube got everything he got and did everything he did with bars, like as a rapper. He made his name as a lyricist, whether he was ghostwriting or rhyming his own work. He was him with the rap. I think a part of the issue that Mace pointed out is the world in rap post Illmatic or post 92, however you want to frame it, because people might not say it wasn't just Illmatic. It was a lot of different things that played into that. But for the sake of argument, I'll say post Illmatic. A lot of those guys get that light post Illmatic that a lot of guys pre Illmatic just don't get. They get treated as an old school act, whereas post Illmatic, a lot of our favorites get treated like legends. To me, Cube deserves to be in that conversation because everything that your favorite rapper has done, he did it before they did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He crossed over, now crossing over. He highlighted lyricism. He wasn't hibbity. He was rapping. You know what I'm saying? Was I an Ice Cube fan? Are you gonna catch me in the whip blasting Cube? No. But you notice you've never heard me say a bad word about Ice Cube on any episode of the Rap Roundtable. You can't find it.
Thanks.
But when it comes to Biggie, I just have a hard time. And not because this is a polarizing topic and I want to upset people or anything like that. I just have a hard time skill-wise putting Cube above Big. People are gonna say, he didn't have the body of work, but I feel like in this day and age, if we fans, aficionados, experts, whatever you want to call it, leaning on the fact that Big passed away is lazy now. Because we know what good rap, I always say this, we know what good rap sounds like, we know what great sounds like, we know what classic sounds like, we know what bullshit sounds like, and we heard enough from Big, essentially 3 albums worth of new material, because he dropped a double CD, right? So we knew we had the features. Junior Mafia, come on. We know who Big is as an artist. We know what his heights were. If at 96, 97, they were already talking GOAT talk for Big, before he died, they was already saying he's him. Why are we discounting that because he died, right? That's the only question that I have. To me, I'm disappointed in Tony Yayo for acting so, like, scoffing at the notion that Cube could be better than Biggie. No, Tig Knight, it's not New York bias. That's another lazy thing that we got to get over. It's like, as New Yorkers, we are not allowed to pick anybody from New York. That shit, if you want to get me tight, say anytime you pick a New York nigga, it's New York bias. We're not allowed to pick our niggas. Everybody else gets to be biased for their region except New York. It's sickening to me. Southern people front of New York all the time. They don't get called bias. West Coast don't get. I've never heard a phrase down south bias. West Coast bias, Midwest bias. It's
this whole Cube conversation, I feel is tainted with West Coast bias. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
You know, it might be. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, Yayo's acting like Cube wasn't him when it comes to rapping is a problem. He was him. Like, I remember being a kid when Cube dropped, it was a big deal. I didn't know who he was in the 80s because I was a toddler. I was crawling on carpets, but I knew that he mattered. When West Coast Connection was running around in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s, it was a big deal. I knew I was when that nigga rapped, I was like, oh shit, this nigga's not playing around. He's pretty good at rapping. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're gonna stop discounting Biggie Small. I know, like, as time moves away, it's the cool thing to say that New York was the epicenter. New York paid the money. New York had the payola, and a lot of their legends were kind of inflated. Nah. Maybe some were. Big wasn't one of them. Big was really him. In real time, Big was him. You know how I know Big was him? Because I was young enough and still old enough to be a hater. He used to be on the radio so much that I didn't want to hear it. This one more chance shit. Used to live on the radio. I used to turn the shit off. Where's Wu-Tang at? Where's MATHOD man at? I want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this sing song shit. This guy was everywhere. The rhyming was, then when I got old enough to understand that the template for your New York rapper who does boom bap in 2023, a lot of it is Big. What are we doing here? If it's not Big, it's Hove or it's Nas. Those are the three guys that most of your young New York rappers emulate. When we talk about some of the nicest niggas in today's space who lead with lyricism, they're emulating Big. So how is it that Def plays a role in that? That's lazy to me. That's all I'm saying. Cube is him. Big is him. There's no wrong answer here. It's all I want to say. Whoever you choose is who you choose. But stop acting like Big wasn't him, because that shit is corny to me.
Facts. Couple things. Who was it? You know what? I can't find the first one, so I'm gonna go to the second one. Michael Brown. He says, does Tony Yayo even know Cube's catalog like that? Gotta watch the clip. And DJ FN isn't from LA, so what West Coast bias? You watch the clip again. He clearly says that he's from LA, or at least from Cali.
Moved to Miami.
And that he moved to Miami. So you go watch the clip again, my boy.
You know what I mean? Like that shit. And
it's like,
hold on, Mace. I'm sorry, Mace.
Nah,
just the thing about storytelling. We again, if we're aficionados or we know rap, we know that there's different forms of storytelling. And what Big did, almost every Big bar or verse was a story, because the way he framed his lyrics, he wasn't just saying basic like metaphors or similes. He was building a story. It was always a roadmap, a beginning, middle, and end, with a couple metaphors, with some pictures, with some aesthetics to lay out an entire story. You could say every Big rhyme was a story. So when we talk about story bars, and Sin want to say that he could have been a better story rapper than Cube, is because the way Big approached story bars was more complex than just saying I'm rapping about Mace and Sin and we went to the park and played ball and we went to the club and had some drinks. Big was doing it a whole different way.
Right. What was going on around you at the park?
Who has a warning in their catalog? Who got that? Who got that? How much rappers got a warning in their catalog? What we doing? Y'all getting me upset.
The other one I wanted to get to, Touch 182 said Cube was a GOAT before Biggie run even started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Sure. Who's discounting? Who's
So is Cube better than Nas?
Are
you willing to go there because of that point? No, you just made a point that's why that Cube deserves, you know what I mean?
Oh, right. You're talking to them, not okay.
Yeah, I'm talking to them.
Will the Nas fans be willing to make that argument?
Right. If that's the reason you have Cube over
really pick and choose arguments and angles.
Grandmaster Caz over
for
Cube
for certain artists, you know what I mean? Because I've noticed not just in the chat, but in like on the web in general, like a lot of people want to front on Big. Like Big was not the man. Like Big didn't do everything better than anybody else at the time. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand it. You know what I mean? So like saying that Cube was the GOAT before Cube was a GOAT before Biggie, like so what? So was Rakim. So was
That's why we said it's hard to have one universal GOAT. We got to break it down in the eras. That's literally why it's hard to say one guy was the GOAT. Because in real time, you could say a multitude of guys was him in a moment in real time. That's why I'm really starting to move away from there's one. There's many for a time, and there's certain people who interject at the same time, like a Big and a Pac, like a Nas and a J, like a Drake and a Kendrick, like it or you want, hate it or love it, Drake and Kendrick are going to be in the conversations for the younger people in 20, 30 years from now. So it is what it is. But like to act like Big, like the rhyme schemes, like how much rappers was switching rhyme schemes and not doing it with the built-in 8-bar loop. Big would just switch his shit for no fucking reason on a third bar if he felt like it, bro. Like who was doing that in 96, 95? Who was doing that?
Big, the musically speaking, Big had the best flow and the best cadence.
And the big nigga like that when he's breathing, like the breathing, him and Pun.
Bro, Big had the absolute pinpoint best timing. He never dropped a ball where it was not supposed to go. He always dropped it 100% where it was supposed to go in the pocket of the instrumental and the song.
And again,
every time.
We're not holding up Big to knock down Cube, because remember what I said, because a lot of y'all, sometimes we get worked up because we love rap, we get emotional. What we're saying is stop knocking down Big, period. If you pick Cube over Big, fine. The issue I have is don't act like Big couldn't be above Cube or Big isn't above many of your favorites. That's the gist of what I'm trying to say. Let's not get that lost in this conversation. We got a couple of super chats in before I pass it back to you. Cash in my props says, fellas, you heard it here first. Magic 2, August 11th for hip hop's 50th anniversary. We will believe it when we see it.
Yeah, facts.
All right.
The J-Lex podcast says people are hating on Big since when? J-Lex, go on Twitter. You will see. Black Mall with a $2 super chat. Much appreciated, family. All right, that's about it. No more super chats. We just seeing the people going up. I love this conversation in the chat. Don't get it twisted. We love rap. We can argue, we can disagree. Like you'll never come to the rap roundtable and think that you're supposed to agree with us. Let's make that clear. You know what I mean? Everybody can have their opinion, but just let's stop with the hyperbole about some of these artists. Big was him. That's all I gotta say. Go ahead,
right, and it's again, just like it's just more like a skill set thing to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you can listen to any of the three of us and think that we not acknowledging that Cube ran shit in his day. You know what I mean? But it's like the skill set when Jordan was playing was just a little bit more advanced than Dr. J. You feel what I'm saying? So I understand Dr. J was the nigga jumping from the free throw line, but it was a few more niggas jumping from the free throw line when Jordan was playing. You know what I mean? So it's just like that of an argument. It's not Cube wasn't the one. It's not, we know Cube Ghost wrote half a fucking straight out of Compton. We know, bro. Like
Facts.
Cube is the fucking guy, nigga. He's still rich and living off of that legacy to this day. Shouts to the big three.
I'll take
it
a step further, Mace. If anything, Cube in hip hop might be the most underrated ever.
Honestly,
he's not in no conversation.
None. Which is and you know, I don't want us to seem like we, you know, to predict shit, but we just was having the Cube argument post show the other day, bro.
We were.
We understand that Cube
is the nigga. All those sessions, bro.
Facts.
Honestly,
all those
that should be the
sessions?
Patreon.
Hell yeah.
Right. Black Maul just mentioned Scarface is the GOAT, in my opinion, on the super chat. That's another nigga that needs to be in the argument. You know what I'm saying? But listen,
and Big got a lot from him too. Like, look, just because we're saying that, just because I'm a huge Big fan, I'm not going to discount the fact that he was inspired by countless rappers before him. You know what I mean? But again, like May said earlier, like if you're going to make that argument, keep that argument consistent. You know what I mean? If you're gonna say, oh, you know, Ice Cube was a GOAT before Big, all right, Ice Cube was a GOAT before Nas too, and you're a Nas fan. If you're a Nas fan, does that mean Ice Cube is better than Nas?
Sincere the rap snob. Somebody said the thing. Somebody said the elephant in the room.
Was that?
Mike H says the fall off was so sudden though. Love Ice Cube though. That's a thing that no one said it. Mike H had the temerity, the audacity, the cojones to say it.
Because by the time motherfucking Lethal Injection came out, bro, much less that War and Peace bullshit he dropped, bro. Listen, man.
But to be fair,
talking about throw your back into it and all that shit, nigga.
To me,
but to be fair, Big unfortunately
didn't have a chance.
He didn't have a chance to fall off. He never had that time to do it, to see where he was going to go. Either
I'm going to shoot some bail to Cube. Cube, to me, became a victim of Death Row's G-Funk run. Because West Coast rap pre-G-Funk era is not post-G-Funk. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If Death Row's run doesn't happen, maybe that doesn't impact what Cube sounds like. Because you got to think the competitive level was in him. He's seeing what Dre and them is doing over there, and how the sound of the West Coast changed. Maybe that played a role in what happened as far as the fall off.
You know, and also the Sonics were for his best work was from the Bomb Squad, which was an East Coast production collective. You know what I mean? They were New York. They were the ones responsible for Public Enemy sound. You know what I mean?
And is Cube gonna try to rhyme on some half beats?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, And then the West Coast East Coast thing happens, and maybe he felt, maybe I should start fucking with some West Coast producers, and it didn't turn out as well. You know what I mean?
This is interesting. We Be Clubbing is a classic. Fly Shit Only. I do love that song.
And then also beyond that, he starts doing, fucking Disney movies and shit. Like
he became a megastar. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Leroy Green, Q must be your favorite rapper. He says Q showed you all the sides of being a human, and of course he went into Family Guy mode. Of course, we're not knocking that. This is not a knock. What we're saying is that Mike H pointed out that as an artist, the fall off was swift. But that was common back in them days, right? Like what we seeing with a couple of our rappers like the Jays and the Nas's, the Woos, et cetera, et cetera. That's not supposed to happen in rap. Like this is the first time we're seeing in real time guys have 20+ year careers as rappers. Usually rappers had like a 5-year window, then they vanished.
It was running backs in the 90s. That's what I was trying to tell him.
Mr. Terrell says Big outperformed every artist he worked with. Can't argue with that.
Does that include Jay?
Yeah, it's hard for me to say, but yeah.
D-Nice said, "Nah, Method Man." Yeah, I don't know about that, bro.
Will T, Job likes We Be Clubbing. So
about what? Falling off?
Will T, you don't like women? You don't want to see women shaking ass? What's wrong with We Be Clubbing? That's our problem. Some people don't like seeing women shake ass, and I get mad when I say I like songs.
Nah, D-Nice said, "Not Method Man." I think in terms of Big outperformed every artist he worked with. People will say Method Man got Big on the what, and this. I mean, according to the source,
even Big said that. I read an article that Big even felt that way himself.
I mean, I was Braun and D-Wade. You couldn't lose. You know what I mean?
At the time, Meth was out of here, man.
Listen.
Right. Come on. Losing a Meth on a record, bro. Like
Meth was the breakout star of Wu-Tang in real time. So, you know what I mean?
Eminem got Jay-Z. Big Pun had Nas rewriting shit for a week straight. Like, it happens, bro.
Facts.
We missed those stories now. Who's making? Never mind. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna be the old head today. Like, because Gunna's not making Thug rewrite a verse when they were cool. Like, that's not happening. you might get a J. Cole rewrite, and Kendrick might rewrite a verse if Cole's going too crazy, shit like that. But that competition, we don't hear about that no more because the greats don't care about being good.
They're like, fuck it. Remember those days? I've already put it on there. Fuck it. You know what I mean? And then and the way another factor this
Big cook how many niggas, man?
The way the rate at which people are pumping out music, like who even has time to stop and say, "Nah, I gotta rewrite this verse." Like, no, that song gotta go out. We putting that song out tomorrow, so you don't got time to rewrite nothing. It's got to go out. So you know what I mean?
Fact. That's a fact, y'all. I like, damn, they what's his name? Fly Shit Only trying to kill Will T. He said, "You're a hater. You like men. Slow down, Fly Shit Only. Don't do that."
Jesus.
Don't do that.
Notorious just.
Whoa, shit just got serious here, man.
God damn.
Yo,
it's not for all that, man. Y'all gotta chill in the chat, bro.
You like, man, I'm dead. Wow. Coop, I know you out there. You can't out rap me. Coop, yeah, I mean, Coop might be in the chat on his burner. You never know. They be watching. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We let them know. Shout out to According to Hip Hop. Shout out to the Fresh Out Podcast. The collab is on the way. We cooking that up. That's another event for us. So if you haven't already, make sure you tap in with the Fresh Out Pod. They do a hell of a job over there. Get familiar with those guys. They cook up a beautiful podcast, and they're not beating you over the head. They're not bludgeoning you with their opinions. They're just trying to entertain, much like we try to entertain. More than anything else, we want y'all to leave here entertained. We don't want you to feel like, why does God think he knows more than me? That's not what we do this for. We do this to entertain. You know what I mean? Fellas, y'all got anything else y'all want to add to this conversation before we get up out of there?
Oh, wait, one more
super chat. Super chat just popped through.
One Piece actually put Ice Cube back in the game, and Biggie did not out-rap Method Man. All right.
Yeah, just said that.
That's fine. I actually enjoyed Biggie's performance on the What More Than Method Things.
Of course you did. Again, you're not to be trusted on that topic, you know?
Oh boy.
4 Biggie t-shirts, is it?
Meth, man.
I mean,
Meth was going crazy on that shit.
Wait, what was it? Clips to Avalanches is the Praying Mantis. You know what I mean? Like that, Big came off crazy on that. I don't know, man. I'm
Big
not convinced.
disagreed, Sam.
I'm not
Big
convinced.
disagreed himself.
The rapper
I mean,
himself.
Big told you Jay was better than him.
I mean, he might have been.
I don't know.
You know,
but
but I digress. Real quick, episode 75 drops tomorrow at 5 p.m. Make sure everybody who's here right now pull up for 75. Please. We had another fun time cooking that one up. 75 is a pretty iconic number as far as the lexicon of numbers go. So make sure that y'all tap in for that. If y'all enjoyed this, y'all gonna definitely enjoy 75. We appreciate everybody who pulled in here. Again, if you have not hit that like button before you close out this video, hit that like button. And you know what, Mace, you could take us home, bro.
Hey, man. It's the Rap Roundtable. You know what I mean? This is Sincere, the Rap Snob. Big fan, Nas fan, Kendrick fan, all of them, bro. What are you talking about? Hip hop fan, you understand? Y'all the point guard. You know he throwing lobs, you know what I mean? You know he hitting 3-pointers. You know, he might just be the MVP this season. Shouts to Dini, man. I hope you're watching out there.
Some people not gonna like that last ball, but it is what it is.
Hey, man, I call it like I see it, you know what I mean? Dini, wherever the hell you at, we miss you, bro. Pull up next time. We see y'all tomorrow, episode 75. It's the Rap Roundtable, and we are out of here, man.
Yes, sir.
Like trees to branches, cliffs to avalanches. It's the praying mantis, deep like the mind of Farrakhan, a motherfucking rap phenomenon. Come on, man.